Welcome. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with Enchantress the Babbler. Stick around and you'll soon see why. Okay, welcome. So it took me a minute to hit record, and then my daughter gave me one of her many infamous lines that'd be iconic for all of time. Like, she has been notorious since she can speak to deliver boom, 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 sentences or phrases that be catchy or something, you know what I mean? That be like, boop, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm thankful because it created whatever like stall, long pause that I had before hitting record, like, because this one's gonna be in an enchanting babble. We're gonna go in whichever way we do. This is not a targeted reference to absolutely anything. This is a little bit of everything mixed into one episode here on a time limit thing. So hopefully we're going to cover a lot of ground once I start going in and all that kind of stuff. And again, at this moment in time, the human that speaks to you does not know what we're going in about. That'd be a true story. So, but either way, there's a lot going on energetically, right? This channel is all about our evolution, our revolution, and being a sacred space of channeling grace to provide to you the alchemy of whatever it is that you need to uplift you in this perceived reality, 3D, you know what I mean, on a whole multi-dimensional rise that's happening for you inside at this time. And at the meantime, we connect, you know, in some kind of way. I don't give a fudge about your beliefs and your stuff. Respectful we shall be, and all this kind of stuff. This is about your energy, right? So, and mastering your energy, because as within exudes on out energy, right? I can't do much about all the madness that happens in this world and all the fucked up shit that goes on, but I can help those system and stuff like that. Why I do it and what I do it for and who's paying me and all this kind of shit. These are the lifelong quest, purpose driven filled questions we should be asking ourselves. Why do we do what we do, when we do, how we do, where we do, when we do? And are we in alignment with what we do, when we do, how we do, where we do, and do we know our truth? You know, that's this type of channel. So if you're all about that and all that kind of like, woo, rabbit hole, like, holy shit, I just had mushrooms up in this bitch, then yeah, take the hit, because we're going to go in, because it's all about the alchemy of you and me. You see? Yeah, I know, dramatically, theatrically, symbolically, this is a parable, you see. I speak very poetically. And so either way, so we're going to be going in, and there's a lot of things like, and this is a transitionary period, and we're in new moon phase, although on a whole multi-dimensional plane of existence, everything is always happening simultaneously anyway. So we're always in new moon vibes. If you could just hold on to that concept of like, okay, but this is creation time. So welcome. So my daughter, she was like, Mom, because all right, let's do a little backstory just so they could get like a quick thing about what's going on here. So we keep on, like, time is flying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like blink and 2 weeks later, and it's just like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my singing cat in the background. I've shared her story, I believe, of how she was found and dying on the verge of death, and I scooped her up. She was walking into incoming traffic. She was like smaller than my hand. She was about, estimated the vet said, maybe 3 to 4 weeks old, and was dying. And luckily, you know, she's great here, beautiful. Anyways, singing. She's grateful for life. Wait, what was I saying? Backstory. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I had stitches before. I don't. Anyways, I don't need to go into that. But anyways, I was just gonna run a quick errand to go pick up laundry detergent, because we need laundry detergent, right? And so I let her know that I'm gonna go pick up laundry detergent, and if she wants to come with me, like, you know, if she needs anything or whatever. And so long story short, whatever, she decides we're gonna come. So we're like, okay, we're gonna do a quick little CVS run to go get what we need really quick, like, you know, and stuff like that, take care of it, right? So on our way out, she's like, I feel like really eating unhealthy today. And so then jokingly, I was just like, are we PMSing again? Like, oh my gosh, time is flying. Again, another reference to time. And it's just like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, get what you want. Cause you know, she eats good anyways. Like it's all about moderation, you know, on this earth. Like you can't really like deprive yourself or deny yourself and all this kind of stuff and be like, well, that could kill you and this and this and this and that and all this kind of stuff. Granted, you know, certain things can and will, you know what I mean? But like everything is moderation for this earthly domain. For your human existence has a timestamp anyways, you know what I'm saying? So like moderation be key, or just to go intuitively dive and understand your system function and know what's good for you, what's not, and what you could do, you know, to keep it balanced, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, so she's like, I feel like really eating unhealthy. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, go. Repeat messing again, fine. So we get to the CVS, grab what we need. I'm like, all right, hurry up, like I want to go, like whatever. But she's like looking around for like junk food, like a snack, which is something she keeps and deprives herself of because it's one of her, like, you know, like what she could probably like and indulge in, like, you know, like it's like when you have those sweet tooth moments and stuff like that. So she wants these chips. She wants these chips that I had once upon a time ago. I don't even remember when I had, but I mentioned something and stuff like that. She's like, those, the ones that you had and stuff like that. So they don't have it. But in this parking thingy, there's multiple different kind of stores. Like, you know, like there's like a liquor store, there is a Quick Check, there's other little things around. And so we're in this parking lot that serves all of these different stores. So she's like, we could check in the Quick Check because they don't have it here. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we go to the Quick Check. She finds it, right? So we come home, and now I'm preparing to record again, right? Which I've been doing for a while. And then she comes out of her room right when I feel like I was gonna hit record, but I hadn't. And she's walking back into her room, and she's like, Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. And I said, wow. Thank you, my child. For that is what we're going to begin with. Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. Isn't that a bitter pill of a seed of an implanting I'm doing here for the progression of your own evolution of mind traps and warps that we can have, like in terms of being delusional or distorted in our function of thought? All this envy, all this jealousy, all this coveting, all this gluttony, all this greed, all this, you know, need for everything. Somebody sees that what you have and sees you enjoying it, and thus they want it. And then, you know, here it goes. They have it. They take it from you, or they get one of their own and it doesn't even taste good. That's this world. Chasing, right? The next thing. And now, because they're so devoid of themselves, they projectile vomit. Let's not even go there to those that are going through their healing chambers of layers and blaming it on everybody out there. And that's just a whole other contempt. Is this contempt into the cart? What do these words mean, right? Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. Oh, they do? Would everyone learn this lesson too? Right. So I guess that's where I was going with that, because it be like that. Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. So coveting. The grass is always greener on the side that which you water, but nobody's watering it. And they're still looking at your green grass over there. Meanwhile, you pay somebody to fucking do that. Oh, ah. So then it becomes about luxury, money, this, that, and what you have, what I don't, and what I've been through, and what you've been through, and all this compare, contrast, all this, that side tastes better when I don't have it. And yeah, you have the movers and the shakers, and then you have the stillness haters. The movers and the shakers that still want what that you have, they try to do something about it. They either get it on their own, they chase after that which is empty, or they take from you that which they think they can, and all this kind of stuff. And then there are those that see that what you do, see that what you have this comparison distorted in their mind about how they think they see this whole entire envying energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, those chips taste better when they're yours. And that's something else that I'm being highlighted with, right? So it's this ongoing joke with my nephew that he still does this to this day. So he's like, what, how old is he, 12? But since he was a toddler, he likes to drink my things. So like, if I have a water, he takes it from me. So then the joke with that, while he was growing up as a baby, is I'm like, you always take my water, or you gotta take mine. And he'll guzzle it and he'll drink it all up because he wants mine and it tastes that good. So this is kind of giving me that vibe, but playful were we and him in that whole depiction that I'm just sharing with you, that I'm because it's adorable. He didn't, the last time I seen him, he said, well, like water, he drank. I was like, but why you gotta take my water for? And it's just like, because it's mine. And it feels good, like, you know, but we're playful answering back and forth. And I love my nephew to pieces, but this, well, my daughter and my nephew, right? Insight. Our children are so motherfucking wise. I know I don't have to curse. You know, well, words are made up anyways. Maybe it's not a curse in another dimension. Maybe it's magic. Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. Titi, because that's what I'm called, right? Titi, that water tastes better because it's yours. You can have your own water. We have plenty here. I can share with you, but you want mine. Think about that. Depending on whichever flip side of the coin you be, if you coveting anyone, anything, why do you want so badly that which you think they have? Right, but going back to the movers and the shakers, and then the ones, the stillness haters, right? So the movers and shakers are trying to either disrupt, do, or whatever the case may be for them too. And I'm not talking about the ones that are supportive or whatever and stuff like that. No, the motivation behind so many different kind of people that move and shake is to prove something to some other debate of some other thing. And then it's rare you see the one that makes it on such kind of registry of passion. This, my passions brought me that which we're here. Or sometimes it's a drive, I had to prove my family wrong, or do this for my family, or do this for this. And, you know, always have a reason for that which they do, the drive behind them too. And it's identifying that side of you. Which side of the coin do you play? And this has been me too, like these last couple of years, like really understanding the dynamics of friendships. And I'm not gonna play victim here, and I'm not gonna play all this kind of stuff or whatever, but I know the quality of friendship that I am and the type of person that I am with those that I am affiliated with, when I'm affiliated with, and all this kind of stuff. So fuck that. I know that. And that's, I don't need to explain myself. But this is, you know, when you observe and you see, right? And you just like, really, like, you're like, okay, right? The hangups with friendships like that and all this kind of stuff. The inability for people to look past that which they lack or don't have, and how sabotaging and energy they can be subliminally. It doesn't mean that they have to act upon. I cut off friendships last year. I had to, part of my growth thing was to cut off that which I didn't see, but I knew. And I didn't need the proof. That was hard. Because we don't want it to be that way. But it is. Right? And how people, like, in order for like a person to be in your presence or something like that, you gotta be on some real like non-combative, like fucking, like at least you some leveling of so healed in yourself that you're not gonna look at me when you're deprived or don't have something and punish me or covet or envy or secretly hope that shit fucks up. Nice. That's fucked up. But that be the energy of the folks out there. And so we have these challenges with our intuition, with our knowing power, with our ability to see. Doesn't mean that you must respond and let them know what you see and all this, but they don't hear you, you know what I mean? Deaf ears. Deaf ears. I've tested the theory of deaf ears to my humoristic way of doing stuff. Deaf ears. Deaf ears. So deaf that you're deaf too. But none of you here and you diving in, you tapping in and you turning on and you tuning in and you get, if you even understand me. Even this leveling of just like free took a whole lot of, I've been called crazy my whole fucking life. You know? Right? So what was I saying? So yeah. All this, right? So the movies and the shakers and stillness haters, all the same team hating on you or energetically not healthy for you. The difference with the stillness ones is they don't do nothing about it, but it's in their thoughts. As much as they brew it in their thoughts, it's going to start to really be in their fields. You'll see the development of that over time, where then there'll come a day, a blow up of some kind that'll be like, oh, wow, I was right the whole time. You don't need to let it get there. Your gift is sight. You don't need to drop a mic. You give the peace and do that which is healthy, wealthy, stealthy for you. You know what I mean? But anyways, right? These energies, like a front fake and be like, you'll know it's a lie when they're mad at you for the decision that you make in your own life when it was to be for good for you. Because in truth, if anybody is for you in love, harmony, and peace, it doesn't, then the respect of just the honoring of yours, like you, like we don't have to agree. But my love for you and my care for you is that whatever you decide or think that you feel is the best for you, I want that for you too. And if that means that you don't want to like be my friend anymore or anything like that, granted, I don't agree, but I respect you for that. But not these people. The thoughts get even deeper and darker. They can't stand you because that's the fucking truth from Jump Street. Well, that's the projection of that which they hid behind the false narrative they were feeding themselves. Distorted illusions. You'll notice it real quick too that if let's say you have a fall or a stumble and all this kind of stuff, they seem to be a little bit hippie, hippie, joy, joy, happy, happy about your falling down. Another thing I've noticed in my own darkness to light kind of life experience 40 plus years, right? This is just my own experience. I'm not being vain. I'm not being egoic. I'm fucking sharing with you, right? Granted, passionate too. I'm not upset. Although I could be aggressive, that's just the masculine energy and the fire in me being a firecracker, you see. But simmer down and be me because peace, kumbaya. But yeah, when I was down and out and depressed and being fucked up and threatened and beat and all this kind of stuff, and even though on the outside I was as jolly as can be, you didn't know that was happening to me. Every mofo that was a phony baloney had all the love in the world to give and show. But when you not down and out no more, even though it's unspoken, it's not like I was down and out and expressive about it. They didn't know shit about shit. But energy is energy. And that shit, don't, you could deny, you could pretend you don't see, feel, and all this kind of shit. We all read fucking energy. We just don't always accept it, acknowledge it, or compute it. But we all know energy. Especially when people are coexisting and you have a daily narrative with certain people in your life. The unspoken, all that unspoken that gets left to our imaginations if we allow it to be. And then if we put it out there on blast, people be like, you crazy. Am I? Right? So what was it called? I want to go back. Hey, Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. Right? So where am I going with this? Right. But yeah, the difference too, like between those narratives and those kind of people, like that fake the funk, like, or they'll be like, I was a friend to you. You was a friend to me, then why are you wishing bad on me, and why are you sending me negative energy, evil eye, or spiteful, or have some kind of animosity? Towards, right? It's like, why? If I'm not right. You could hear it. You could hear it when there's still unhealed aspects of us reacting. It's not healthy. It's not whatever comes out of it is not a solution. It's usually just adding to the issue. You know what I mean? And so we're seeing that now. And I just feel like there's such an altered other awareness of deception that exists all around. Like the people that play dumb to the narrative of manipulation and all that kind of stuff. And like, you know, covet, lie, steal, you know, all these kind of things, and pretend none of it is real and all this kind of stuff. And like that narcissism or sociopathic tendencies, psychopathic tendencies, and just like my daughter has me like watching stuff like, and I know I'm late to a lot of things, but I told her I'm gonna start doing stuff because I'm like late to a lot of stuff. So like American Horror Story, I know it came out years ago, and I remember I had started like somewhat watching it with an old roommate of mine, but I don't remember. That could be like 2011. I don't know when it started, but I've never seen it. Like again, like I've watched it that time when it first originally came out, and then that was like the last time I ever known anything about it. And trust me, I maybe seen 1 or 2 episodes, and not even a full episode. It would be just coming into my roommate's room and she was watching it. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I just happen to see whatever I see. So my daughter has me like watching the season 1, and I picked up on like the daughter, and my daughter's like tricking me. I'm like, she's dead, and I'm like, I cried. I cried because I was just so sad. I was like, wait a minute. I had her pause it and stuff like that because I'm like, this poor girl. I'm like, this whole fucking time her family, like her parents are like completely oblivious and so like caught up in their own fucking fucked up shit with one another that they forgot about their fucking child, that they don't even know she's dead. And they're just like, she's not dead. Like, she was trying to play it. And I'm like, Olivia, I'm glad that you're not like trying to spoil it for me and all this kind of stuff. But like, I know it's sad. I'm like, I just know, right? And then the cry becomes so many people in this life. Like, I'm like, how can you be in the same household and not know? I mean, granted, it's a huge fucking house, right? And granted, it's her, like, whatever plaything or whatever, but it is our human conditioning to be so fucking devoid of connecting with ourselves that we're seeking without, like, outside of ourselves, for that validation, for that credit, for that acknowledgement, for that something, reciprocity, that attention, that acceptance, whatever it be, or that we miss out on actually really connecting because we're so disconnected. I remember one of the times when I sat with a therapist and I said, I'm a shell. I feel like I'm a shell of my own existence. That's what it feels like. No. Yes. Disconnection. Absent from your own experience that you're willing to covet someone else's. You're willing to make someone else feel punished energetically, silently, because of your own inability to connect with yourself enough to give yourself that what you think you're missing or seeking elsewhere. And instead of identifying and acknowledging the corruption in your programming so that you can deprogram it, right? Transmutation. Finding its transfer, its expansion, its growth. That's what this, I love everything that I grow into being about. Like, I'm always learning. I'm a forever student. I say that all the time. And I don't know shit from chat. But I'm a conduit. So I guess, with this new moon, right, energy of applying our knowledge with wisdom, for wisdom, creating a truthful atmosphere, realizing that, wow, maybe I am needing to connect with myself a lot more than I realized. It was another thing with the American Horror Story. The Black Dahlia and then the boy Black Dahlia. I thought that was insightful too. He wasn't even mad that he was killed. His only concern was that he became famous. He didn't care that his life ended as long as his legend lived on, or his memory lived on, and he didn't share in the context either. Willing to accept the sentence of stuck energy inside a portal that keeps that energy cycling over and over. Dante's Inferno, right? The stages of hell and the traveling that we do in on each of hell's floors. So the human psyche is like that. You know, there's such a distortion. I'm in a transition period about healthy spirituality and tarot cards and stuff. Like, I don't even like the route that it's on right now. Like, it's such a disconnected community looking for popularity and trending, right? And this dynamic of stuff that it can ruin the momentum of, like, I even hear, like, I'm not gonna name names, I'm not gonna do any of that kind of stuff, but I hear such, like, I don't even know. I want to look up the word vapid because I hear it's not a word I use, but I hear vapid, superficial, like, souls, not even in touch with none of themselves, speaking words, but they're like popular or celebrities, like using words like divine or evolution, and like, so it's like the devaluing system of even words now that we use because they're having such superficial context. Like, even the spiritual people fucking that are popular readers and all this kind of stuff, selling like plastic surgery and calling that a glow up and all this kind of stuff. Like, what does plastic surgery have to do with spirituality? And how is that a glow up? It's vanity, it's superficial. You're having a glow up, you look good, and everything is like external. Now, when you're going through a spiritual, like, you know, thing, is granted you're glowing and like in the evolution of you when you get to the stages too, but it's like Albert Einstein coming out the alchemy room, like, that batch didn't work out. It exploded. My Bunsen burner exploded. Gonna try a new concoction. You know, that is sad. Like, you have people saying, I'm getting downloads, I'm getting spiritual downloads, I'm channeling, and what they mean is they're flicking through like the old school TV channels. No, they're just getting information, gathering information from this technological thing. What will you do if technology not be here for you? How will you deliver your information? Can you survive? I'm old school. We didn't have all of this. And I be on my hermit fever. Go years in the hermit. Developing, evolving, and all this kind of stuff in my own kind of way. But, and again, I don't want it to be that way. I dig this connection, right? I connect on these kind of connections. I'm not saying I'm above any of these kind of connections. It's just a distorted mess of all these connections, and what it's really it's like allowing, so it's like science advancing, right? Science is advancing in every kind of evolutionary way, but the people are not. It's like science is advancing, but the people are staying so small, like, you know what I mean, in thought, in mind, things, but there's superficial greeds or needs or things like that they quest for, that is going to be this ultimate fantasy of fulfillment, it's so devoid of even their own connection itself that it's sad. I like, if you watch any of my other videos, I said of the big timeout that I had took from like the news media and worldly events for 10 plus years. It ended up turning into, I want to say, all right, at least 7+ years. Like, although it's more than 7, I feel, where I stopped watching TV, I wasn't reading any kind of news. And it's only this year, between last year and this year, where I started reintroducing myself to worldly things that are taking place. And so in my timeout phase, and then, you know, so I'm finding myself sticking my nose in places I don't know what's going on in the world. It's like I come in, like, am I just like it felt like my childhood moment where I was like, they dropped me off and they still have yet to come back for me. Like, what the fudge? Like, hello, you love me? Like, what the hell? Right? So dropped off again here on Earth, right? And it's just like, okay. And so no longer in like with the sea of abyss that used to suck you by this. And granted, it's lessons, applying, and all this kind of stuff. It's growing, all this kind of my own personal development and personal power, empowerment, truth, root work, you know, healing, dealing with my feelings, and evolution, revolution. And, you know, another thing with this whole dependability upon tarot cards and all this kind of shit, I know that I say that I'm a big, like, you know, like I like all this stuff. I use it in my videos and all this kind of stuff. I'm not switching sides on anything. Whatever brings you to connect, that what you connect, but don't become codependent upon this shit either. Like, I live my life, I barely, like, you know, like, I don't really, and I think about that stuff. Like, although I use cards and all this kind of stuff, I use it in now more out there for those that do connect with me and want me to do that for them and stuff. But in my personal daily life, my inner connect is my inner connect. I don't go for every fucking question, go pulling motherfucking cards or doing this dependent, but I hear, I receive, I'm open. And in my own personal developments of learning how that which I receive in so many different kind of degrees, these are just entertainment kind of, you know, tools that we use. They're not the everything and they're not the answer. And they can be convoluted, as much convoluted as you. Go play around with a freaking Ouija board. They got jokes for you. Let me write that down because I actually have a lot of Ouija board experience. Maybe I'll share some of those stories. Ouija board. But either way, all as spiritual as can be, I'm very practical and very skeptical. Like, I don't go and say, oh my God, just because a book fell off a shelf, that's a ghost. Nah. You know? So it's not to just jump in and automatically like uncode it. And a lot of these people that are like spiritually awakening or think they know something and they're like spitting knowledge and wisdom and all this kind of like other stuff, like on an and again, I'm not like whatever, but they become so fixated on the truth that they know up until this point now, and they're a lot of the times their evolution is not complete yet, and they're like speaking so ignorantly. Like, it's just like there's still more to go. Stop making everyone stuck where you are. Or whoa, the light just like where. So you know what I mean? So it's like shedding light on a lot of kind of things. And so I've been kind of like, with the kind of material that I want to record and do on my channel, it's evolving, right? So don't just expect like tarot short videos that are, you know, I use as diary writing prompts. I use a description box as my diary, my written live school, like just whatever comes out, you know? And so it's evolution. This is my own artistic channel of expression that is for a soulful, like evolution within you. This is like energy management, solutions, revolution, soul talk, you know, a place for you to come and just, wow, I feel good. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so there's just like so much nonsense going on out there, and it's just like it could become discouraging, I can imagine, to people that feel like their voices are little, or like their position is so small, and that they don't stand a chance over these big sharks. Because even I was thinking about that. I was like, oh my God, you have this person, this person, this person, like real, like talked about everyday kind of celebrities using freaking words now. And when they say it, and I hear them when they say it, I'm like, it's so fucking empty and meaningless. But yet they're so like magnetic to the populations that already feed off of their programming. It's like, wow, you're making this, mean nothing too, with the mask you wear and the lie you sell. Right? So, but that quote that my daughter said, Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. It's not true. So that was a mental thing, because she had it on her own. She didn't have mine. She got her own, and she didn't really like it. But when she has some of mine, that was better. That's a huge metaphor of life, of meditation, that I'm not going to tell you where to go with it in your thoughts, but I really want you to think about it, because it's really fucking big. If you can grasp the level of depth we're diving into here, just that statement alone. Mom, those chips taste better when they're yours. Right? So think about that. Think about where you are in your life that you feel like tastes better somewhere else. And reevaluate that shit. Because it's a distorted lie. Fucking you up in your algorithm systems. And if you really want to be that kind of kinetic in alchemy and alignment, not distorted illusion and programming distortions, the best place to always be within your own placement is honesty, truthfully. Even if you're not ready to share your truth with the world, you don't have to. You can keep the shit to yourself, but at least be really real with yourself always. And just be glad that that's that next step needed by you, that you just took courageously, no matter what it is. And you're working, and you know that it's working for you now. That you acknowledge, accept, and hold yourself accountable for that which is true for you. And you know that the progression is happening. This is a process, and this too shall pass. Whatever it is. The discomfort, the uncomfortability, right? So, yeah. So anyways, I gotta go. And that's that. And we're gonna talk about a lot more kind of stuff, and expect to see different kinds of styles of content from me that it's percolating, right? And so you too, right? There's things percolating through your transmutations, transformations that you're creating now for yourself, that you're finding your own voice, and you're finding your own rhythm, you're finding your own beat, jump to the sounds of your own beat. I always have the kids do that on their yoga mats, right? It's not part of the curriculum, but I have them do that. I have them self-love on themselves, self-hug, and acknowledge themselves in every kind of way, powerfully. And then I have them beat down on the drum, on the mats. And I'm like, all right, let's drum to the beat of our own sounds. And they get so excited. Each child drumming to the beat of their own sound. And then we end it all together in a crescendo. It's powerful. To drum to the beat of your own sound. And that's going to be a learning process, especially if you are in deprogramming phases and you're transmutating and you're healing and you're going through stuff. And this is like it could appear scary when you don't know what the future can look like, because this new route that you're on, this where it's not like everybody else, right? It's new to you. I've been watching and getting like pointers of, not pointers, but like I watch somebody that I see that I like, and it's the guide for me to see where I'm going. And that's what we're each here for one another, to inspire one another. I'm not looking at this person that I see that's doing their own entire kind of thing. I'm not trying to do anything like them, you know what I mean? But I'm drawn to this person in that kind of way. And it's the skill of their own talents that I'm admiring in every kind of way. And I'm like, and then insight hits, right? And it's just like, I'm to do this, not necessarily what they're doing, but their skill set and their way is, whatever drawn you into them is to show you where it's being gifted, guided for you. And it's like being in school. Life is school, right? These experiences that you have. So it's a matter of perspective. Going back into the people that covet and envy and look at that what you have and feel like they want it too, and all this kind of shit too. Like my cat's distracting me. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like it's always a matter of perception, right? How you choose to view something, right? And so that leveling of awareness instilled in your evolution is giving you the opportunity to grow past any kind of pollution or distorted illusion. You know what I'm saying? So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. The Secret of the Ooze, the lab assistants. In the subway den, in the subway den, the turtles help mix up a batch of brownish goop in a discarded wash tub under the meticulous direction of Professor Perry. Various bags and bottles of chemicals litter the work area. Donatello, in particular, is functioning as the professor's assistant, right? The anti-mutagen. So yeah, so you're creating like the anti-mutagen. We're lab assistants, right? To the greater cause of the whole, that is the solution to the thing that we must do, whichever it's going to be. It's going to be individual for each and every one of us, that gift of whatever it is that we bring to the table, that we are to learn from one another and unite with one another. Like, I'm learning so much from my peers, just as much as my peers can learn from me. It's not a competition. It's not a hierarchy. We're each on different evolutions and individual experience, that we each have our own contribution to give. It's not a competition. It's not, I'm gonna do it all. It's impossible for us as earthly individuals to do it all. So stop hogging that which you can't possibly fucking do on your own. We each contribute to something. Right? So we're an infinite universe of possibility and potential activating in our own kind of way. So we're creating the anti-mutagen, right? So like from deprogramming. So it's like from the programming, we're deprogramming. And now we're putting in like into the metabyte system, like all our codes. It's a coding time, right? We're creating our codes in our system and stuff like that. So you're creating the anti-mutagen, and that's through transmutation, transformation, and that's an energy process that requires your absolute attention and focus to the detail of what is happening here, right? Enlightenment, right? So yeah, what else? kitchen catastrophe. The secret, well, it's not really a catastrophe, just a little chaotic, okay? That's all. A man-sized turtle cleaning up a kitchen doesn't happen every day. Okay, April finally returns home and thanks her unusual house guests for their considerate efforts. So, right, so you might make a mess in the development of you. We all do. I remember, right, we're all like fudge ups too in our own way. We learn through our experience in every kind of way. And so it's not a catastrophe, it's just a matter of perspective in that which we do. And so it's up to us to be the alchemy that we're gonna do to create the secret of the ooze that's gonna be the ambiotic fluid. I don't know why I'm hearing it like that, but that's how I'm hearing it. The ambiotic fluid that is needed, that's providing all the nutrients and stuff like that to be. So either way, unlearning your system and learning something new without influence from like people telling you how to do what you need to do. It's learning it for you. So it's like the same thing, the admiration that I find from all these people that are doing their own thing at this time, and that inspiration that I then instantly receive from the admiration that I am giving to these, you know, people, individual beings. Is not that I'm assessing their whole life and judging them and all this kind of stuff and what brought them to this space. I don't give a shit. It's the inspiration that you give to me right now, right? And from, you know, an authentic space. And so that's just what's happening here. So granted, we make mess in the kitchen. Okay, kitchens are meant to be messy, right? My daughter made a mess the other day. She cooked, and I woke up in the morning the next day and realizing that, you know, nobody cleaned the kitchen. And it's just like, it's not right nor fair that I'm the one out there, but we can complain or we can do that which we must. And we can work as a team effort and unite and just do things that are right and just activate that from a unified perspective. Or we can just like, keep on complaining and nobody does that which they must because everybody's in a state of like crustiness. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah, so I'm developing my own way. You're developing your own way. That's a process that's part of our progress. And so we don't know what that looks like. Granted, I'm being inspired by seeing that which, whatever that inspires that which I see for me. And still there's a lot of detailing and steps, right? But, you know, we don't want to hold ourselves back, and we don't want to overly think too much about that which we're doing, because then we can get that paralyzation too and do fucking nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to do that either. But either way, this is a great time, new beginning for that which we are creating. So let's get hip with that too. Being a lot more clear about what really tastes better to us. What are we seeking to taste in our lives? And is that in true alignment with that which we are, who we are, and what we want? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the returning subscribers. Thank you to all the love and the commentaries that I'm starting to get to on here. I appreciate that. That allows me to keep on getting excited that which what I do. I still get excited to that which what I do, whether, you know, whatever. But it's nice to know that people are here. So thank you so much. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell too at this time. I update as I do. I update daily, but me on videos and things like that, like that's as random as can be. So hit that notification bell so that you never miss the opportunity to dive deep with me, right? Because we do this because it feels good, right? It feels good. Yeah, right. So yeah, there will be loads of information in the description box, right? That will, like, for instance, the master link, that master link that's provided there is the master link of all links that links you and I in every single multi-dimensionally level of layer that is available for you and I to connect on. So if you wanted to know how furthermore to connect with me in every single kind of way, you just go to that master link, and inside that master link has everything that you need to know about how you and I can further connect. There are loads of different platforms that I am on and use that can connect you and I for free, and also other kind of like paid subscriptions and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, but there's a lot of free content out there for you too. So thank you so much. Yeah, you can also find me on Instagram at Enchantress. I'm always pretty much active over there. I try to be, but whenever everything is divine right timing. I don't push anything. If I don't post, I don't post. If I post, I post, but at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. You can follow or subscribe over there too. And for subscribers over there, they receive daily exclusive content from me to them that's posted on there but hidden from the general public. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's about it. Thank you so much. And breathe. You can't be bullied or manipulated if you're in your truth. Unless in your truth you decide to allow yourself to be bullied and manipulated, then that's a different story. You should really give space between relationships and not seek to automatically blame your breakup on the person that you broke up with or something like that, or left behind, and not be so eager to jump into somebody else's bed at that time, or connect with someone else in that kind of department, because you haven't even yet to learn that which was needed to learn that ended the previous encounter, and you should cleanse yourself of that energy anyways. 1+ years. If you feel like you can't do that, why? And if you feel like I've been years and you're not just happy, why? Because another person in your life is not going to be the answer to that either. Are you really present in your day-to-day? Or are you just seeking something that's not here? And feeling empty without it? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Till next time.